So you know how Marvel has like 616 characters and they plan on making a movie for each one of them? Well, I think that Black Panther may just be the coolest one of them all. I'm gonna break down the movie, especially since, years from now we're gonna need like a backlog of all of these things, but I highly recommend for you to go watch it because this is one that I give a high combo price just for having one of the best villains alone. Let me explain. So the story of Black Panther starts years ago when an asteroid made of vibranium, which is that metal stuff Cap's shield has, smashes into Africa, and there's 5 tribes that just go to war over it. One dude decides to eat an herb that's actually mutated with the alien metal and gains superpowers after eating it and becomes in tune with his ancestors in order to become the first Black Panther. See, the thing with Black Panther, unlike a lot of other superheroes who get bit, then get responsibilities, or get tested, then get powers, or are just rich, so they have power, being a Black Panther is a part of a lineage. It's earned. It's kind of like royalty. Loyalty got royalty inside my DNA. So the first Black Panther unites the tribes, except the one who doesn't want to be a part of them, and builds a thriving city known as Wakanda, hidden away from the rest of the world, because, the best way to not deal with Earth's problems is to not be a part of it. So while their hidden city is thriving because of this new element that's like every essential oil plus, we take a look at Oakland in the 90s, which is it's a little bit different. And they still had the Raiders at this point. You may be wondering why they're speaking English in Wakanda, considering that they do have their own language and, even their own writing. It was something that I was thinking about, and I'm just assuming it's movie magic translating. It's based off of a comic, and in comics they do that as well, so that's my answer to that. Anyways, in the 90s, we see T'Challa's pops, King T'Chaka, had sent his brother to be a spy over in the States. In fact, they have spies all over the world. But his brother, while spying in California, fell in love with somebody and had a kid who, dun dun dun, yep, ends up being the antagonist later on in this movie. T'Challa's uncle also realized that Wakanda, being so stingy and not helping anyone else out, only made things worse for other Africans all around the world who weren't getting any help when, in Africa, there was this place that had everything that they could ever need. That's why he partners up with Gollum in order to steal vibranium so he can redistribute it to those who need it. However, Forrest Whitaker Jr., who's actually playing Forrest Whitaker younger, snitches on the uncle, and King T'Chaka kills his own brother in order to protect Zuri Whitaker. He not only literally has blood on his hands, but as we've learned with a bunch of the other superheroes, their dads actually have a lot of secrets, because this guy ends up dipping back home and leaving little Eric, his own nephew, to witness his murdered father at such a young age and become enraged. He joins the army, racks up so many kills that they give him the name Killmonger, and he sets out to get revenge. Y'all just creating your own problems, homie. If you saw Civil War, you know that T'Challa becomes king after his dad dies. They then hold a ceremony where they do that thing that they do in weddings where you can object. A guy objects from that 5th tribe who doesn't like him. He challenges T'Challa, loses, and then his sister, bodyguard, and ex become the guardians of Wakanda and set out to find Smeagol in order to bring him in. Little do they know that Vic Mensa over here is using Caesar in order to get to Wakanda so he can take over and become king. Which he does. My man Sparta kicks T'Challa over a cliff and takes over with this pimp gold version of the Black Panther suit. T'Challa's family seeks refuge with that one tribe who challenged him at the beginning, and you know what? I'll give it to this tribe, who clearly doesn't like the whole reign that they have going on over there in Wakanda, but yet they found T'Challa on the river and rescued him instead of, open housing him. T'Challa regains his strength and comes back to fight his buddy who's joined the sunken place. The Dora Milaje, who I'll straight up tell you right now is the one group who I won't mess with, are run by Michonne and turn on Killmonger since he's not officially king. There's these Megazord rhinos that are released, the Jabari come in like the Dothraki and continue the battle of the 5 armies, and T'Challa kills his own cousin. See, the main battle that's going on in the movie, or at least the ideologies that are clashing, is akin to that of Martin Luther King and Malcolm, but obviously a bit different since this is a fictional superhero movie. One side wants to handle things peacefully, but not even get involved so they can keep that peace, while the other one wants to make a change, but violently. They both believe in their side so strongly that when T'Challa offers to revive his cousin Eric, he goes, "Nah, pass. I'd rather die like my ancestors than become your slave," and straight up checks out of the movie. Damn. T'Challa then learns from his ancestors' mistakes. He fixes things with that 5th tribe to avoid future problems. He buys out an entire block in Oakland to help rebuild that city. He pulls an Iron Man in the after credits scenes and confesses to the world that Wakanda not only exists, but he answers that snarky guy about what they have to offer with a smirk, because he knows, yo, they got the biggest element in the world. Oracle Shuri keeps healing Bucky, Black Panther gets his girl back, and Marvel reveals that they're going to release the first ever Mexican superhero. Or, I mean, one day they will. Thank you guys for checking out this video. As always, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this movie. Like I said, I think this is one of the best Marvel movies that's out there. The first half was good, but it's that second half that's great. They finally have a villain. You know, there's like a handful, probably Loki and whatever Thor 2's villain was, because they don't have the best villains out there. But this movie was a pleasant surprise. I thought it was done very well. Some of the jokes were a little bit cringy, but other than that, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comment section. Let me know what other videos, what other movies, what other TV shows you want me to cover. And until next time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and you too can win a pair of sneakers.